Please mind the gap between the train and the...
Whatever. Welcome to the Punkio Podcast, the show that brings you unsigned punk music, regular interviews, news, reviews, and more. Thanks for tuning in and subscribing. Let's jump straight in. Here's your host, Tim Marshall.
Hey all, welcome to the Punkio Podcast. Today I've got college radio on. How you doing, buddy? All right? How you doing, guys? Evan and Gordon? Good.
What's
And
up?
today we also have my mate Chris as well, who's decided to co-host with us
How's it
today.
going?
How you doing, bud? All right?
What up, Chris?
What's up, guys?
Good. Glad to have you all
How's
back.
it going?
So, guys, just tell us a bit about the band, etc., and introduce yourselves for us.
Well, I'll go first. I'm Gordon. I play guitar and I sing.
I'm Evan. I play bass and I sing.
And then
Awesome.
we're missing Taylor, who plays guitar and he does kick-ass harmonies and kick-ass leads. And then Mike, our badass drummer, who is being badass and working right now.
Yeah.
Too early. Ooh, on a Saturday.
Terrible. What time is it there?
11
It is
a.m.
11 a.m.
11 a.m. What about for you, Chris? Is it the same? Or
Yeah, I'm on Pacific time as well. I'm in Southern California, so
yeah. Well,
West
it's
Coast.
7 p.m. here. It's literally a ridiculous time difference. So,
Nighttime.
living the future. COVID still
Is
here,
it any
guys.
Tell me
better?
what happens later.
Yeah,
Is it?
nothing much
Please
really.
tell
is
me
it?
it's. Is
Pretty
it
much the
better?
same. No, not really. Not in the
Does it
UK
get
anyway.
better?
Crap.
Start to get better on the 17th in 17th of May here. We're allowed to start doing a few more things. Restaurants are starting to
Yes.
open
Ooh.
for inside eating. So look forward to that. We'll see what happens. And gigs.
You guys
I'm
get
not
shows
sure.
soon too,
Sorry.
right? Like some gigs soon, right?
Yeah, I think some gigs should be able to start soon, like the smaller kind of venues. I mean, I don't know. Personally, for me, I think festivals have to wait till next year. I don't know what you guys think, but for me
It's-
personally, I think that's probably the best thing to do, just because there's so many people that haven't got vaccines still.
I mean, if you really look at it too, with what's going on, like we've got a taste of, I'm sure you guys have seen it, like, you know, what's going on with like Florida. There are a lot of people going out to Florida to play. A lot of people like WrestleMania. Holy smokes. It was, don't get me wrong, it's really cool to watch wrestling with people in the crowd. But I mean, even that Madball show that happened last weekend in New York, I was just like, I knew a lot of people that were there.
Yeah.
A lot of people that were already vaccinated, they wore their masks, but there was still a lot of people.
Yeah.
yeah, I saw that. That was insane. It was like, I don't know how many thousand people showed up to that Madball show. I was like, what the hell?
Jesus, because
Like,
New York
believe
was
me,
one
I
of the
want
worst places.
I want to
wasn't
jump
it?
into that, but
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
New York was one of the worst hit, wasn't it?
yeah,
I think
real
so.
bad actually.
Yeah.
My dad went out there like to Manhattan, like smack dab in the middle of don't go here, and my dad's like, I'm
Jesus.
going to Manhattan. I'm like, what?
Why? Yeah. Oh, okay. Anyway, right, back to you guys. What? When did the band start? How did it start? How about the name, etc.?
Band kind of like emerged slowly in late 2017, and then really started grinding in 2018 as a three-piece with two older members, Dylan and Cody. I miss you both. Love Cody. Cody is on pretty much the songs you hear on I Used to Get Messed Up EP.
Okay.
Those are Cody on those songs. And then I met Taylor. Taylor really fit in. It's as much as it's fun being a three-piece and really easy to run around as three people, that you need that extra guitar. Like you can do so much cool stuff, harmonies. And then I met Evan here while playing a show with his badass band Midnight Movie. You guys should check them out.
Are you still in it as well, or running the two bands?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Awesome.
pulling double duty. So it was Halloween of I want to say 2019. Gordon, can you confirm? Really
Confirmed.
bad with dates. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
And I got my band Midnight Movie on a bill because I saw college radio was on it, and I was like, they're pretty good, man. We should start riding their coattails if possible.
Nice.
So we were opening, and I think Gordon was probably one of like three people that actually watched our set. But like afterwards, he came up all tipsy. He's like, "Hey, how you feel about being in any other bands?" And I was like, "You talking about your band?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like,
Nice.
yeah, all right, man, all right.
You're like, actually,
And, Yeah, I
Gordon,
just dove in
cool.
head first. It's
Yeah.
been a blast.
It was a missing key component, to be honest. I feel like, because I swear, once Evan popped in, we played one of our biggest shows. Literally, like, I want to say 2 months, not even that, a month after he joined the band with the Classic Crime for it was about 2 months, like in Christmas time. Oh god, so fun.
That was a Classic
So
Crime
fun.
Assuming We Survived tour, wasn't it? They came through.
Oh no, that was before that actually.
Okay.
We did just because Classic Crime does like a classic Christmas show.
We did that too, though.
But we did do that with, and I love the Assume Boys. Oh my gosh, it was that was just I could go back and reminisce about that show just because
They
it was
were
like
so
right before
cool.
the pandemic hit. It was just one of those where it was our first sold out show as a band too. Like, well,
Nice.
technically one of the first. We did one before Evan was in the band. We were very lucky that that one was a fun one with our boys in Green Lake Basement. But it was just we didn't expect it, but it was one of those where I like once the show started going, I was like, holy shit, like my friends can't come to get in. Like I told them to buy tickets. They're like, oh, we'll go to the door. It's fucking sold out. I'm like, oh,
blimey.
What?
Yeah.
Amazing. Well done.
And that was the biggest venue we had played at that time as well, right?
Yeah.
So it was we were really feeling it.
Was
we
that
were
the
really
L4
feeling
zone,
like big
or what
boys
was
that
that?
night.
The Crocodile actually.
Okay. Cool.
I wish it was Elko.
I'm familiar with Seattle, so yeah, I'm kind of asking that. Yeah.
We were supposed to play Elko with Nerf Herder, but we got screwed by this pandemic pretty hard. So
next year,
hopefully Nerf Herder will come back.
A lot of stuff on hold.
Oh, good. How about the name? Where did that come from?
So funny, like we just came out with the song Growing Pains. Originally, I was dead set. Like I was playing with the band Enterprise Earth at the time, and in my head I was creating this band and Growing Pains. I was like, I want to do something like I was really what got me back into the pop punk scene because I'm an old school guy. I like my Green Days, I like my Blanks. Alkaline Trio is my favorite band.
Nice.
But I remember hearing the Wonder Years in 2010, and like this time next year, the years gone by. I was like, oh, this is really neat. This is a little bit different. Still the vibe of the pop punk stuff. And Growing Pains. I thought, the Wonder Years, Growing Pains, like the TV-esque. But I started writing some music after transitioning out of Enterprise Earth. And it was more nostalgic, more 2000s drive-through records, Alkaline Trio, Blink, and it just didn't fit. And just scoping through, I don't know, I was at college radio. I was like, I love one of my favorite things was the college radio station out here in Washington, KGRG down in Auburn. And that kind of just hooked. And I started scouring the internet. I'm like, how come no one's used this name? And
Nice.
I mean, it's 21. We the name popped up in 2018, I believe was the first time we started. I think the Facebook and all that was created, and the rest is history. I mean, to this day, I believe the domain name, nobody steal this, please, but college radio is open. So, but it's like
there you go.
a pretty hefty price. So
I bet, yeah.
It's really expensive.
What is college radio to you guys? Like, how would you describe college radio to normal radio? Is it different? Is it literally from a college? I mean, I don't really understand.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So it's like I mean, you Evan's worked with some college radios too.
Yeah.
You had a ska college radio show, right?
It's I did a show in our college. I don't know if that's what you guys call high school or what have you, but you go there when you're like 18 to 22 and you drink an awful lot. It's university.
University. Yeah.
So a lot of our unis have like terrestrial radio stations where they're usually a little bit less professional than your standard commercial radio. It's a bunch of college kids.
Yeah.
And I think the thought is there's a bit more heart to it, like college sports, because nobody's getting paid. You just gotta love it.
Yeah.
It's like NCAA, and then once you get to the big boys.
Yeah. I mean, for us, I really don't think we've got anything like that. We just have the national radio stations like Radio 1, Radio 2, Radio 3, Radio 4, Radio 5, Radio 6. It's
this is like that, but like Radio
2.
Yeah. This is Radio 22.
Yeah.
This is way down.
Yeah. No, we got others, but I mean, Radio 1, they're by the BBC, who you've probably heard of, like all of those.
BBC One,
Yeah.
BBC Two.
That's it. Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Well, obviously, Kerrang as well. You've probably heard of Kerrang. We've got, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So
best.
we've got them, and yeah, it's all right. There we go. Anyway, I'll tell you what.
Hopefully one day we'll do something crazy enough to
Yes.
get on Kerrang's radar.
Fingers crossed. Well, I'll tell you what. Should we jump into the first track and do
Let's
Growing
do it.
Pains?
I think we should.
I'm
Yeah?
gonna, I agree with that
Yeah.
statement.
Awesome. Okay, so here is Growing Pains by College Radio. Enjoy.
Hello to the world of what they'll and soon to be. Call me the typical one, you know, the one with anxiety. Come up, come down, we all have been there before. It's just the growing pains between the cracks within the floor. Never again will we walk alone. Never again will we walk alone. In the bathroom at one time, you remember a place, remember a time we ran away from this over again. In the bathroom at one time, you remember a place, remember a time we found us sleeping with these stars way back when. Goodbye to the time well spent, to who we are and what will be. So long, farewell, but not without a light for you and me. Come up, come down, we all have been there before. It's just the growing pains between the cracks within the floor. Never again will we walk alone. Never again will we walk alone. In the bathroom at one time, you remember a place, remember a time we ran away from this over again. In the bathroom at one time, you remember a place, remember a time we found us sleeping with these stars way back when. Wake up, my friend, so I can tell you again. I've been spinning around until the bitter end. Farewell, my friend, until I see you again. I've been spinning around until the bitter end. In the bathroom at one time, you remember a place, remember a time we ran away from this over again. In the bathroom at one time, you remember a place, remember a time we found us sleeping with these stars way back when.
Amazing, guys.
You're right, babes.
All right. Is that your
You're
impression
right,
of it?
babes.
It was English. I love it. But yeah, I love that song. Absolutely brilliant. It's not my favorite. As I said, I used to get messed up to my favorite, which we're playing on in a bit, but still absolutely awesome. You've got a great sound. Very, as Tom would say, that's nostalgic.
Yes.
You're the kind of early 2000s vibes, which is my kind of style, 100%. So
Bringing back the
Yeah.
pop punk for us older cats.
Exactly,
Still,
yeah,
you
That
know,
was my
I'm-
favorite
I mean-
era, honestly.
yeah,
2003, without around then, that was my favorite era.
yeah,
oh, it's so
personally.
fun. It's like
definitely.
come back to the shows.
I-
Bring your kids. Like you know, like
Yeah.
it-
Okay, right. I've got a question. So we got two massive Alkaline Trio fans in this chat. What do you think of Skibber in Blink?
Fucking love it.
Ooh,
Pardon my language.
I think
I
it's-
love it.
Yeah.
it's good. It's good, man.
Yeah.
I look at
I-
it like this. It's being a fan of Skiba. I like obviously him jumping to Blink and taking an opportunity kind of halted some of my favorite stuff. I believe it definitely hurt Derek a little bit. But I mean, you got to do what you got to do too.
Yeah.
Like that dude's been grinding for years, and such an opportunity came his way.
Of course.
I think that personally, I think that the last record 9 was probably the best sounding of all of them. A lot of people disagree, but I think that the transition might. What if Tom comes back? Do we get a 4-piece band?
Keep Matt. That's my keep
Matt?
Matt. I
Wow.
think keep Matt. Fuck yeah.
Wow.
It's
Yeah, I mean,
Tom
I have
keeps
people
posting
disagree with me
stuff.
left and right. I
Yeah,
don't care. I
yeah.
think Matt Spears is fucking amazing in Blink. I just gotta say that.
The only
I'm a
like
huge fan of Matt as well.
Yeah.
I'd say
so
for
a
me,
disheartening
yeah.
thing was I believe it was honestly their last live show. I think it had been January, February before the pandemic went to crap.
Yeah.
They hit the first song. They always open with Feeling This, and the backtrack is louder than Matt. So you just hear Tom DeLonge. It's
Yeah.
all of Tom DeLonge's backups, and here's just Skiba playing. Like you could tell he hears it, but he's taking it like a fucking champ. Because I would be so bummed out. Like imagine like people, you could look at as they go to the crowd, people are kind of doing that look like what the fuck. And then you got Mark over on the other side just fucking laughing. So
Yeah.
it was kind of funny, but like I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I do want Trio back. Like originally we were supposed to hit up that freaking Bad Religion Alkaline Trio tour at the Palladium before the pandemic hit. That
Yeah.
sold out show.
Oh, wow.
And it,
Yeah. No, I'd love to see them live. Absolutely incredible band. So I think they're definitely my top 10 2000s bands without a
so
doubt.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crimson.
Without a doubt.
Crimson is my Crimson and Good Morning. Two amazing records.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Good morning, and then
Couldn't agree
yeah, oh
more.
yeah.
Yeah.
His voice is a little dark, a little raspy, and
Yeah.
I dig that. But it's the transition up. I mean, he even talked about it. He's like, I was going through some shit. I was trying to do something different.
Well, I was reading
I
is
still
that his
dig it.
voice was completely blown out, and Jerry Finn was like just pushing him through it anyway. That's what I read somewhere, was that his voice was just trashed.
Yeah.
And-
yeah.
A lot of this I heard too.
Oh dear.
A lot of
That'll do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh dear.
that'll do it.
Yeah, it will do it, definitely. I mean, that's the same with
Stick with this.
Ollie Sykes from Bring Me Horizon, isn't it? Well, not that kind of stuff, but his voice got entirely screwed up. So I had to have an
mean,
operation, and he's kind of
He
had
was
to learn
pushing
again.
some screams
He
though,
almost-
man. That guy like
He was.
whew,
He almost tore
like-
something, or he tore something.
I
Didn't
think he did, yeah, and he had to have an
Yeah, he
operation.
was in the U.S. and that was
Yeah.
crazy because I wanted to go see the Vegas show for that, and like I didn't end up going, but I remember reading that, going, "Well, shit, that
Yeah.
sucks."
Yeah.
Yeah, huge fan of them at the moment. So I'm a very into my metalcore at the moment.
hey, nothing
Well, it was
wrong
great
with
too
that.
because that tour was Thrice as well was on it, and as
wow.
well as Fever 333 was the opener. So
Yeah.
that was gonna be that was a crazy looking lineup. I was like, but anyway,
Nice.
Oh
Evan,
man,
you're very
that's
quiet.
one band I'd love to see.
Oh, yeah, no, I think Matt Skiba is good in Blink-182. I saw them live a few years ago. I saw the first tour with him on it, and I was admittedly like super duper drunk, but I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah.
Because I think I used to be more critical of things when I was drunk, and I was still like, that's pretty good. So
Love
yeah, I look back on it fondly. I'm happy with him in there. And
Good.
I kind of recognize that Tom was always my least favorite part of any Blink-182 stuff. No love lost there, but just some of his weird accent and stuff.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. He kind of lifts right out,
So do you not like
Where
Angel
are
No Waves?
you?
No. And I'm a huge sci-fi nerd too, so that's not it. Like I loved spaceships and that kind of garbage, and it didn't do it for me at all. But neither did
Yeah.
Boxcar Racer. I think I really just like Mark.
Yeah, I
You're a bass
prefer
player.
Plus 44 as well. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
We were talking
I
about
enjoyed
that
Plus 44.
yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
The side projects, honestly, get rid of Blink, give us Boxcar, give us Plus 44. They can share Travis. You get Travis on the weekend.
He
You
does
get
everything
Travis during the
anyway.
week.
Yeah.
MGK gets him the rest of the time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Of course.
I think it's actually the other way around. So Travis gets Mark on the weekends, and then Travis gets like that because Travis is kind of running the show. Like Travis
Sure
is with
is.
God.
That guy's a boss,
the-
dude.
Travis is
I mean,
pop punk at the moment, literally.
right now.
So,
I mean,
Yeah,
the new
yeah.
Willow Smith track. Woo, dang, that
Damn
Willow
good.
Smith track sounds very
I mean, he's
Paramore.
pretty much spearheading the whole mainstream influx of artists going that direction. So
Yeah.
fuck, I mean,
100%. Yeah.
if
Mod
it's
Sun
gonna
as well.
put pop punk back on the mainstream radio circuit, please do
Yeah.
it. Like, I mean, this kind of happened
That's
in 2010 out here, and it was neat. Out of nowhere in 2010, you heard like all time low, like on our actual radio station out here. Our radio stations,
Yeah.
other than KISW, are kind of meh. KISW rocks, the rock of Seattle. You actually got to hear like Amber Pacific again on the radio. Runner was a band popping up. Mayday Parade was on the radio. Like all these like pop rock
Wow,
bands.
yeah.
And then it lasted about 2 years. So I'm hoping this little push with MGK kind of gives us that like, hey, like
Definitely.
let's listen to some pop punk again, something fun.
Yeah. 100%.
I definitely
I mean,
think it will generate some interest.
it will. I mean,
some WAP,
yeah.
wet ass pop punk.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it doing this podcast. I mean, I've been doing it since November, but I've seen a massive influx in pop punk bands and people bringing out new kind of styles of pop punk.
It seems like we were the bands that thrived during the pandemic because I also do play in a metalcore band called No Home,
Okay.
and we kind of just laid low. Like I tried, we talked about doing live streams or doing stuff, but it's just took the time to write and stuff
Yeah.
like that for that. So, and I've noticed a lot of other metalcore bands kind of doing the same, chilling or just really wanting to get back out on tour.
Yeah, definitely. It's just the same with every band, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, there was one band I interviewed called Slacker from the UK. So SLACKRR. You know
They're
them, yeah.
great.
Yeah,
by the way.
really
Killer
good,
band.
really good band. So yeah, they did a few gigs last year. So like they did some to like 10 people. I was like, why? Why would you even bother? But they wanted to do it. I mean, in the last 2019 and 2018, they did over 265 gigs, I think it was. So
Oh, wow.
ridiculous amount of
Jesus.
gigs.
They're
I'm not
grinding.
even kidding. So
They
they just
grind,
went
yeah.
for it. It was pretty much every night they did a gig. It
Damn.
was crazy, but yeah, they're doing really well in the scene at the moment. Another one called A Few Too Many in the UK as well.
I was going to bring
Doing
them
really
up.
good.
yeah.
Cats
Those
has come
are my
in.
boys. Danny.
The Cats joined the podcast.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, so I'm really loving the scene at the moment. It's a UK scene coming up, and I'm so happy to be part of it. If I'm being honest, yeah, we'll see what
You guys
happens.
have always had a really killer music scene. Like anytime I've been out to the UK, I've been out there 3 times, and every time it's just been ridiculously awesome. Like I sadly only got to play the underground once, but I take that to heart. That place is so cool.
Yeah, it's
Um,
good.
Even like I've been over to the Leeds area. We played one really interesting show out that way. I apologize if my cat starts making noise. I didn't realize that my cat was stuck in here.
It just walked in.
So- Oh.
I believe it was
You
let
didn't-
in.
I
if was
think
watching
everyone
the
saw
correct-
that.
someone let it in. Yeah.
It's an inside job, dude.
Yeah.
I thought somebody else's cat.
Whose cat is this? Oh dear. Brilliant.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was trying to figure out. I was like, wait, whose cat are they talking about?
There we go. There he is. What's his name?
This is Izzy.
Izzy. Sorry, girl then.
Izzy, say hi to everybody.
Hello, Izzy.
Oh, she's too bright.
How's it going?
Say hi.
Oh,
Cat looks thrilled there, buddy.
yeah, he does.
Oh yeah.
Defo. There we go. Awesome. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do a would you rather question.
Oh,
Okay.
Do it.
So I've done this one before and I did it with driveways. Well, Tom did it with driveways. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck?
Ooh, 100 duck-sized
Ooh.
horses. But I would say just because, like, 100 can I kick them?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
fine. No harmed animals in this episode. This is fictional.
Well, my heart is like, I was like, it'd be one of those where I'm just gonna lay down and let them run over me.
Okay,
But,
they have vampire
no,
teeth and they're trying to attack you as well.
Oh, yeah. But
The
it
horses
would be
have
like-
vampire teeth.
Yeah, vampire
Ducky
duck
horses.
horses.
That
That is an
changes
interesting
things.
question.
Quack.
I mean, it kind of I don't want to stickle, but it kind of depends on the venue. Because say I'm in a narrow hallway, I get these horses coming at me one at a time, so I'm just kicking one horse after one horse after one horse because I figure I
Like
can
300.
hunt these things good.
Like
Right?
300.
But if
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But if I'm funneled in, but if I'm in like an open field and I'm just getting swarmed by a maelstrom of like, tiny evil ponies, then it's anyone's game.
That is a very logical analysis,
That
honestly.
is.
I guess I would
I
say
just, I just picture them.
It is.
Oh wait, I got this. The duck, because birds have hollow bones, so I could maybe break its neck.
A duck horse.
And if you have one, that might be easier too. I don't know.
Yeah, I think your cat
I'll
wants to
just
go out
jump
now.
on
Fruit
his-
Ninja.
Gordon, I think your cat wants to go back out now.
I think so too.
Oh dear. Chris, how about you? What would your choice be?
Well, after that breakdown, I'd probably say one as well, one horse-sized duck, because the hollow bones thing would be a lot easier to take care of one than all those. I mean, unless you wanted to pull some 300 type shit where they're all funneling into a tiny area like he was saying, then that would probably work too.
Right.
You could start punting them so.
But if it's in a Coliseum type situation,
Yeah, it's one. You're gladiator style. Just go for the one.
No.
This is Sparta!
Brilliant.
a lot of good duck meat there too.
Yeah.
Like how much meat are you gonna get on these kicked apart horses after I finish stomping them all to death?
But then you got a
Brilliant.
horse-sized duck. That's a lot of,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah.
What happens if you start riding the horse-sized duck? When I think of a horse-sized duck, for some odd reason, I think of a Jacobo from Final Fantasy,
Yeah,
like a giant ostrich.
Yeah.
But
you're gonna ride it like in Golden Axe. That's the plan.
yeah, I have become friends. It's kind of like Avatar,
dear.
I'm gonna.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gordon is doing this like Undertale. He picked the peaceful option.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm like
I
the
think-
size of like a horseback rider. I'm like 5'0" pretty
A
much. so
jockey.
it's- yeah. But I like the punting of the little ones because I think of it as like Fruit Ninja, but it's Punt Ninja. We might have an app game, guys. Kick horse-sized ducks with vampire teeth.
your next song.
Vampire duck.
Yeah.
Or vampire
It
horse
writes
duck.
itself, guys.
Vampire horse duck horse.
It
whatever you
writes
wanna-
itself.
It does.
Please
VHD.
please expect our lawsuit.
Yeah. Yeah. No animals were harmed in this
The cease and
episode.
desist letters are coming, folks.
Oh dear. Brilliant. That's hilarious. Okay. I'll tell you what. So lead up to the next song. What's your best I used to get messed up story?
Oh golly. I think one time my friend got broken up with. I don't think he's ever voluntarily left a woman, but he got broken up with and he called me. He was already hammered and sobbing. He's like, "Evan, you have to get down here." So I came down. He's sitting in a lawn chair, just
Oh dear.
completely destroyed in his front lawn, crying because he'd been dumped. So the first thing I do before comforting him, before doing anything, is just open up this bottle of vodka and just get to where he is. And I just recall about an hour later, we're still just sitting in his front lawn on lawn chairs, half in, half on the ground.
Brilliant.
He's still weeping. This girl calls him and he just hands the phone to me and she's like, "Why are you being so mean?" And I was like,
Dear.
"Bitch, I don't know."
Brilliant.
Just completely ripped. She was trying to call to talk to him or something, and we were just like so ripped that it was we were beyond anything in this world at that point.
Oh dear.
I've probably been drunker in my life, but just something about us just like laying on the lawn crying together, passing this phone back and forth. It was just so horrific and farcical.
Oh dear. Go on, Gordon. What's
Yeah.
your story?
Whew. There's too many. I'll pick one. I'll say one of the last times I was in Germany. There's this venue out there that like we drink there. This venue, they like let's just say that night we played this killer show, a very small venue, but it came to a point where they brought out a beer bong, and then everyone started beer bonging hard alcohol, like whiskey. And then it went from it's just anything hard, anything alcohol wise, we were starting to put it through the beer bong. And again, we're inside a venue. So at one point it's just, okay, beer bong, and then just turn around and instant freaking just in the venue. In the venue, they didn't care. They're like, yeah. I'm like, what? And then like our guitar player does it, same thing. I like to the point where I'm like, we need to start like do another one. I'm like, okay, and I'm like just out the window.
God.
Comes to a point where we wake up the next day. I have lost my contacts. This is day one of like a month tour through Europe and the UK. Lost my contacts. We the driver is standing like just looking down at all of us laying on grounds. We were on tour with a band called Aversion's Crown from Australia too, and they were a little more coherent than we were. I think they were a little just like, oh, you Americans are fucking crazy. We literally we were supposed to play like a small Empiricon fest with a band called Caliban.
Yeah.
Us and Within the Ruins for like main support. We were late, like because we had to constantly keep pulling over and like still really sick though. But that was I haven't drank like that since. Honestly, I held back. That last time in Europe and the UK was had to tone it down a little bit when I came back to the States and realized I kind of got a beer problem.
Mine's been a long time, but we'll hear Chris's first. Go on, Chris. I want to hear a story.
Dear God. Oh, I've got a few.
Well, just one for now.
Oh man, I think the last time I drank, I've actually been sober for over a month now. I think the last time I drank, I don't remember. I heard it secondhand, but apparently I had my friend take me to this goth club. I was dead insistent on it, and I just blacked out when I got there. Apparently, guys kicked out, threw up all over the balcony. Was apparently singing like King Diamond in people's faces. Yeah, it was bad news.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
That's a good time.
It was
So my
rather
one.
obnoxious sounding from what I heard, so I just rather not anymore.
Yeah,
So-
when you start hearing rumors about yourself and you're not sure if they're true, that's when you know it's like,
Yeah,
let's pump the brakes.
exactly.
Yeah,
That was a
100%.
immediate halt right there after that.
Yeah. Well, my worst one was I was on holiday in Tenerife, one of the Canary Islands, and we were some of the last in this bar, and the bloke was like, it was an English bloke that owned the bar. He said, "Do you want a firework?" I said, "What's that?" He goes, just trust me." So he gave us this drink, like all three of us, and we saw him doing it. He put everything behind the bar in this pint glass. I'm not even kidding. And like literally 5 minutes went, and I went on the floor. I was like, "No, I'm done." I woke up on the beach. So
And a pint glass too.
yeah. So I haven't drunk like that since, and that was like 15 years ago. So, yeah,
That is
There's sand in my
like-
butt.
literally
like
it was.
psychotic Long Island iced tea.
Yeah,
Oh.
it literally
Oh my
was.
God.
That was the British version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you guys have what's called a suicide? It's where when you're at a well, I guess this is probably a very American sounding thing, but
in
at
the
a
eye?
fast food restaurant. No. At a fast food restaurant, you'll take your soda because we serve ourselves our giant sodas here in America, and you get every different kind of soda in one cup. See, and it's fucking disgusting, but we call it a suicide.
Okay, no,
And,
our suicide's a lot different. So when we go to a bar, the suicide is that you basically it's a tequila, but you pour it in your eye instead of
Snort the salt.
instead of your mouth. Yeah.
No, I'm very happy to be sober at this point.
Yeah. So I've never done it, and I never will do it. It just sounds a bit too painful for me.
It's a local custom, so I won't criticize.
You know, I
That
actually
would
watched.
be insensitive.
There was this one time we came as Romans were playing El Corazon actually, and really weird is sometimes El Corazon will have, the younger kind of shows, like a lot of younger fans come to like the Devil Wears Prada and like We Came as Romans. So in the bar, there's maybe when it's a bigger show with more like older bands, the bar will be packed or in between. But they're like finishing like before they're going on. Some of the We Came as Roman guys are in there. And there's like 5 people in there, and they get 2 people to do that. Like you take the shot of tequila, you squirt the lime in the eye, and you snort the salt. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then you shove
that?
a cocktail onion in your ear.
Oh, you might as well at that point.
Might as well, yeah. Let's do it all. Oh dear. Here we go. Right, well, perfect timing to go into your last song. I used to get messed up. Here it is.
I used to get messed up till I could barely breathe. I used to get messed up until I couldn't speak. Used to get messed up like you would not believe. I used to get messed up. I used to get messed up. I used to stay out late when I could stay awake. Don't know how I got home when I could not see straight. I used to get so sick, maybe I imagined it. It doesn't really matter anyway. Hey! It gets so hard to explain, so I just say I used to get messed up till I could barely breathe. I used to get messed up until I couldn't speak. Used to get messed up like you would not believe. I used to get messed up. I used to get messed up. Hey! Wanted to call you up, tell you I'm doing fine. I haven't talked to you, don't feel like such long time. Sometimes I think that all we had in common is we both believed in the same lies. It gets so hard to explain, so I just say I used to get messed up till I could barely breathe. I used to get messed up until I couldn't speak. Used to get messed up like you would not believe. I used to get messed up. I used to get messed up.
But I thought that you thought that I did something weird.
Now that I look back, you probably didn't even notice me. I used to get messed up till I could barely breathe. I used to get messed up until I couldn't speak. Used to get messed up like you would not believe. I used to get messed up. I used to get messed up. I used to get messed up until I couldn't sing. I used to get messed up till it was everything. I used to get messed up a lot worse than the thing. I used to get messed up. I used to get messed up.
Damn, I love that song so much. It's incredible. So you were saying that
like
you repeated I used to get messed up 25 times in that song.
Yeah, I
it.
ended up counting it afterwards. I think in the original version it was more, but I had to edit that one down,
Brilliant.
Any more than 25 would have been excessive. But yeah, if anyone finds that song stuck in your head, there's probably a good reason for it.
Trust me, I have a few times. Every time I listen to it, I'm like, I used to get messed up till I could barely breathe. I used to get messed up until I couldn't see. I know it. Trust me, guys. You're definitely a fan here. Chris, what do you reckon to that song?
What's that?
What do you reckon to that song compared to Growing Pains?
That one was really catchy. I like Growing Pains. It's
more.
But I like that one too. That one's I don't know if I can compare it, but I like the catchiness of that one. Definitely the repetition, like I was saying, is definitely a good formula. You can get something catchy and just go with it.
It sure
it's
is.
It's fun, like we kind of do this where it's not like we do all the same kind of music. It's a little bit of like we kind of bridge the line between all of our styles of music. Like we even have there's one we're working on right now called Fever. That's you could, if you were to take any of the vocals off of it, it would sound like a Comeback Kid song. Really, awesome. So it's kind of like or I guess it would sound like a Rise Against song.
Subjectively, I love that when bands have a spectrum of what they sound like instead of just one type of style. You know what I mean? Like that's
we're definitely we've been playing a lot with like dynamics and stuff, but really
awesome.
we've been mixing up the tempos a lot with our new stuff. Cause I used to get messed up, you know, it goes between like fast and faster, which is like totally a blast. And I love that. I love a record that just like does not let up. And I think the new stuff keeps doing that, but we're definitely like slowing some of them down. And it turns out when you slow down pop punk, it just sounds like Weezer. So we
Love it.
we have been banging that drum pretty hard on some of the new stuff. I think people might be surprised, but very pleasantly so.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Very creative.
Oh,
It's,
absolutely.
we had a lot of fun writing during this pandemic. Like I wrote a shit ton of songs, Evan wrote a shit ton of songs, and then like we brought them to the guys, and like Taylor added some really killer harmonies, leads, and like it really comes together. And then like our new drummer Mike really just picking up that awesome like Cali like pop punk drummer
Nice.
vibe too, which is it flows so fun. It's
That's
really
a good way
killer.
to put it.
Yeah. So would you say that your influences are quite similar, or have you got kind of different tastes throughout the band?
Oh, it's very wide, very, very different.
Yeah,
I would say each
we're-
person. Yeah, sorry. You go.
Oh
then.
yeah, we're super varied. I think Taylor is really on that. I always associate Taylor with like Victory Records stuff. I think because he likes Hawthorne Heights so much.
They're a good band.
You know,
yeah.
or just kind of that. Like he's definitely into that like 2010 kind of Midwestern emo stuff.
Yeah.
Mike is always listening to. Drummers are always kind of off from the rest of the band. Like the drummer in my other band, his favorite band is Coldplay, so I don't really know what to do with that. But like Mike is always listening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love
I
it.
hope he doesn't listen to this. Sorry, Aaron. But Mike is always listing off weird stuff I've never heard, and it sounds vaguely metal and kind of sci-fi-ish. Like it all sounds like stuff from the book Dune. He's like, yeah, I've heard like this Abadox and like, you know, SQ Cron and all this crap, and I don't know what it is.
Wow.
But he seems to really like it, so that's
Yeah.
cool. It probably has good
Fair enough.
drums.
Each to their own. Yeah.
He's a sack
Yeah.
boy. He grew up with those Dance Gavin Dance guys and
Okay.
the secret guys.
Yeah.
Metalcore.
Well, I mean,
He's a metalcore guy.
My music is literally, it's ridiculously eclectic. So from pop punk to classical music to music scores to I even like some jazz, for God's sake.
Hell yeah.
Oh, no.
And not most of it. When they go off and do random, like, I'm like, shut up, that's enough. I'll shut off. But yeah, that's me really. And yeah,
A little bit of Louis Armstrong in there. Hell yeah.
yeah, there you go. So I think, to be honest, guys, I think that's probably it for the podcast. So massive thanks for being on, and thanks to Chris for
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks for hanging out,
co-hosting.
Chris.
Yeah, that
Thanks
was
for
a blast.
doing it, buddy.
It was nice
But,
having a conversation with all you guys.
Yeah, I cannot wait for new music from you guys, and I hope some more is coming out soon.
Oh, a lot more. Like I said, we
Good.
just did we're gearing up for all of this new stuff. So expect like
Can-
not just one, not just two, maybe not just three, but
Oh.
more new
Wow.
stuff leading on to next year until we can
Can
get
we
out to the
say-
UK.
Yes, definitely. Well,
Can we
hook me
say
up.
what one? Can we tell them the next one or no? We just
Yeah, I
we
mean,
just recorded a video.
Yeah.
I mean, we can. I mean, if technically everyone's heard it, but they haven't heard the final recorded version.
The studio fancy version. But yeah, you want to let them know, buddy?
Ooh. Yeah. So our next single is going to be a song called 11:59. And this is another killer one that my dude in this corner here just tears up like the
Down
vocals
here
on
for
it.
this one.
It's
He's down here for me, but whatever.
Yeah.
a super fun one, and it like it ties into just what we dealt with last year, like in the most positive way, as
Nice.
like just as we do it in these pop punk things, we write some pretty dark stuff in the most happiest ways,
Yeah.
because we might feel kind of like down or shot, but we want to make it sound really fun.
Yeah.
It's like the
Yeah.
double entendres. No words. I'm gonna shut up.
Awesome. It's fine.
No, this one's a hoot. It sounds like Green Day and Weezer. You guys are really gonna like it.
I can't
You
wait.
can't. It's
Gotta-
one of those where you can't stop moving. When I'm playing it, it's hard to not move or even
Yeah.
just like move around. Like it's like, God damn, it's not good.
Nice. Well, I cannot
It's when
wait.
you know when you're like vibing on your own stuff. You're like, okay, this is killer.
Awesome. Well, we'll leave it there. Massive thanks, guys, for
Yeah.
being on. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Punkio.
Thank you.
I used to get messed up till I could barely breathe. I used to get messed up until I couldn't speak. Used to get messed up like you would not believe. I used to get messed up. I used to get messed up.